Hello there, people of the internet. This little guy, the humble 22 long rifle, a 40 grain projectile at about 1200 feet per second from a full-length barrel, has been one of the most controversial cartridges in the firearms community. There's a lot of talk about a lot of different cartridges and what they are and are not capable of, but 22 long rifle is one of the absolute main go-tos. The entire firearms community is basically divided as to whether or not 22 long rifle is good enough to take care of whatever particular job it is that you are looking to take care of. Lots of rumors around the 22 long rifle, lots of proven facts about the 22 long rifle. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what makes this cartridge so gosh darn controversial. So 40 grain projectile at 1200 feet per second, that's not exactly a fast moving, powerful cartridge. In fact, the 22 long rifle, by the standards of many other cartridges out there that are on the market, is quite anemic. That being said, even though you bring up the shortcomings and lack of capabilities of the 22 long rifle, you will get a ton of people that go into the comment section of many YouTube channels or into many arguments stating that 22 long rifle, although less powerful than other cartridges, is still powerful enough to do the job. There are many people out there who make claims that many things have been taken with 22 long rifle that would normally be stated could not be taken with 22 long rifle. For example, I think the world record grizzly bear was taken with a 22 long rifle. That being said, the world record grizzly bear was taken with a 22 long rifle because that 22 long rifle went into the eye of that grizzly bear and managed to hit the brain of the grizzly bear. After that, the grizzly bear was shot an additional 7 times in the head at point-blank range with that 22 long rifle. And I don't care how big and bad you are, but 8 rounds of 22 long rifle at point-blank range to the head is going to put literally anything down. What makes this cartridge so controversial is its absolute popularity. People point out all the time to me how this cartridge is responsible for more deaths than any other cartridge in the entirety of the world. I do not know how true that is, and nobody has been able to prove that to me, but that is a very common talking point that I hear for 22 long rifle. I do believe that there is definitely a possibility of some truth behind that. However, I'm willing to bet it has less to do with the capabilities of the cartridge itself and more with the popularity, and that is one of the big things that makes people lean towards 22 long rifle. Humans just have a tendency to lean towards things that are overwhelmingly popular, and 22 long rifle is a fantastic example of a cartridge that is overwhelmingly popular. On top of being popular, well, because of its popularity, it is overwhelmingly available. Even in countries where it is very difficult to get firearms, odds are the civilian ship there can have something that is chambered in 22 long rifle. It is just one of the go-to cartridges. So popularity and availability and cost point is one of the, well, those are a couple of the main reasons why these right here are so gosh darn popular all around the world. 22 long rifle here in the US is going to cost you about 4 to 6 cents a shot if you're buying the bulk cheap cheap 22 long rifle. Those three factors combined with its good enough capabilities and its lack of recoil and sound making it easy for people to shoot are one of the main reasons why 22 long rifle has gotten such a hard staple among firearms owners all around the world. Pretty much anybody who's a firearms owner has a 22 long rifle. It is one of the more common cartridges out there. I know that many rifles in the US are chambered in 223 or 556. That is another extremely common cartridge, but the numbers of people who own 22 long rifle compared to a 556 rifle, the 22 long rifle absolutely dwindles those numbers. 22 long rifle has been a go-to for survivalists and preppers for a very long time. You can carry a lot of these very tiny rounds on you. You could carry a brick of 500 of these and not feel it inside of your backpack or something like that, but you try carrying a brick of some sort of larger caliber or larger cartridge, like say 556, then you're going to notice that you're carrying 500 rounds of that ammunition very quickly. It becomes very over-encumbersome. So the size of 22 long rifle is definitely one of the larger perks of the cartridge. Now, there's a lot of people out there who will tell you that if the 40 grain projectile at 1200 feet per second is not enough for you, go out and spend the extra money on some fancier CCI style 22 long rifle, which is going to send that same projectile at faster velocities at 16, 17, or even lighter weight projectiles at 1,800 feet per second. And there should be adequate enough to basically do any job that you are looking to do according to these people. I have seen 22 long rifle, both 40 grain projectiles at 1,200 feet per second, and the faster moving stuff. I've seen both of those take both deer and hog and pig, so I do know about the capabilities of the cartridge. It is definitely capable of doing these things. As a general rule in the firearms community, I think that we can all agree that a 22 long rifle is one of the best survivalist cartridges out there. However, the big controversy for 22 long rifle comes towards its defensive capabilities. Many people, in many different arguments, state that 22 long rifle has put down or has put more people in the dirt than any other cartridge. And like I said before, I do not know how true that is. If anyone can give me any sort of statistic capabilities of the 22 long rifle, like how many people it's put in the ground, I would definitely appreciate it. All that being said, 22 long rifle, just because it has put a bunch of people in the ground, does not mean that it is particularly good for a defensive cartridge. There's a difference between being lethal and being immediately... There's a difference between being lethal and immediately stopping the threat. If you have a threat coming at you, like, say, someone on drugs, or someone drunk, or someone who is able to take multiple rounds of a larger cartridge, like, say, 9mm, which we have seen from police body cam footage on numerous occasions, happens all the time. Somebody who can take multiple rounds of a larger round is not going to be stopped by 22 long rifle all that effectively unless you hit a vital area like, say, the heart or the brain, something that can stop a threat immediately. And if you manage to pull that off, fantastic, good for you. You have the ability to put down proper shot placement. However, whenever somebody is right on top of you, and they have a machete and they're hacking off your arm, or let's say, not even a person, let's say, for example, a bear. People love pointing out the example of the bear that was taken out with this, the world record-setting grizzly bear that was taken out with a 22 long rifle. If you're in the bushes and the bear is standing still, then have fun. Hopefully you make your shot and you don't just piss the thing off. However, if that, 1,200-pound grizzly bear is on top of you and mauling at your intestines, then good luck getting a proper shot placement with 22 long rifle to put that bad boy down. If you are using this for a survivalist situation to gather game, that is one thing, but if you find yourself in a defensive situation against either a person or an animal, this right here quickly, very quickly, shows its incapabilities in stopping a threat. Now, like I said, proper shot placement, yes, it absolutely could do the job. Proper shot placement in the heat of the moment when your life is at stake is just not something that most people are capable of. And without that proper shot placement to properly put a threat down, I would not want to rely on 22 long rifle to stop something. I have had many people in my comments tell me, hey, a hole is a hole. If I shoot them with a 22 or with a 45, they're going to stop doing what they're doing. And no, that is not the case. If you think that's the case, then you've never dealt with someone who is high on drugs or who is drunk and belligerent. Somebody who does not care if they are in pain. Somebody who could withstand multiple rounds of a larger caliber than 22 long rifle. People like that being defended against with a smaller cartridge like this, you have to pay attention to your shot placement and where it is that you're putting those rounds, which is dramatically easier said than done. And that is where the huge controversy comes in. The amount of people that are hit with these things and that succumb to their injuries are oftentimes not immediately succumbed to their injuries. Just because somebody has a hole in them does not mean that they are out of the fight. They might succumb to their injuries later on, but it's not going to be an immediate thing unless they're hit in an absolute vital area. I know on many comments in basically all of my videos talking about the incapabilities of 22 long rifle, I get people who talk about their capabilities of hunting game, and I also got people who talk about the 22 long rifle who have had experiences with it, like say in the ER, and they're able to see just how much damage this thing can do. I'm not saying it's incapable. I'm not saying it is not able to do damage to whatever target it is that you shoot at. However, since that target was able to make it to the ER, that is not an immediate stop on that threat. If that person is still alive to go to the ER, then they have not been immediately taken down by the 22 long rifle. Meaning, if they wanted to continue to cause whatever harm it is that they were wanting to cause, they could do so. Even if they're laying on the ground, all they need is one hand on one firearm and they could continue to be a combatant or a threat. Even if you hit someone in the pump system, in the circulatory system, the main system of fluids that we have inside of our bodies, even if you hit something vital and they have just moments to live, they could still spend more rounds downrange if they have the ability, which means that threat has not been immediately taken out, even if they are just a dead man walking. So just because the 22 long rifle can put something in the ground does not mean that it's the best at stopping threats. Stopping threats and putting something in the dirt is two very different things. However, ultimately, the decision on what it is that you use to defend yourself with is entirely up to you. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that we can all agree that 22 long rifle is a fantastic survivalist cartridge. However, it is not a good defensive cartridge. We have seen many tests done in many ballistic gels and many, I'll insert your choice of test here. Look up 22 long rifle testing on Google and just see what pops up. Many people out there have tested 22 long rifle, and it is not the worst choice of cartridge. However, it is far from the best, especially in modern day if we are talking for defensive purposes. Survivalist purposes, that's an entirely different argument. Fantastic little cartridge, capable of doing a lot of good things. All this being said, thank you ever so much for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. Shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.